Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or as we like to call it, our little corner of the internet, which I love so very much. I can't wait to go over these clips with you. I'm not going to waste any time, but I do want to remind you to do your own research, come up with your own conclusions, and I also have to say that the batteries in my wand need to be replaced, so we won't be doing the little wand swirly, but we are going to get to it right now.
But anyways, it's my birthday. I'm not turning 42. I'm turning 5 this year. I'm turning 5 years old, and I have to go to kindergarten tomorrow. It really kind of hurts my feelings that the paparazzi make my face look like I'm wearing like a white Jason mask. It doesn't even look like me. They've always been incredibly cruel to me. The paparazzi in pictures and the way they've illustrated me to be in some of it. I know I'm not perfect at all by any means, but some of it is extremely mean and cruel. And that's why I've moved to Mexico.
I think we can all agree that the paparazzi and the media has done Britney dirty. Since the beginning, at her hardest times, people just exploited it because it was news and she was the biggest thing. And it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. People don't really care about the person behind the page or the screen or whatever it may be. They just want the gossip on Britney. And I think she is severely troubled. I know there are theories that that's not really Britney. And there are some compelling arguments towards that. Like, I think there was a video she did a couple of years ago and she was outside and she moved her eyes a little and whatever the filter was that she had went away and she had blue eyes without the filter, which we all know Britney has brown eyes. Things like that. I don't know. She just doesn't seem the same. I think she's very troubled. I hope she has somebody in her corner that she can genuinely depend on who's not using her, because it seems like she's had a really tragic go of it. I'm always on Team Britney. I hope she's okay.
There are more mummies found in America in this time frame by a gigantic margin than there are in Europe or Egypt. In fact, the Smithsonian was caught stealing mummies from Colorado and shipping them to Europe. And the deeper you go, the crazier the things they find. 17 miles northeast of Manchester is a prehistoric cavern in which wonderful discoveries have lately been made. They're on a farmer's land in Ohio. The ground shapes downward into this weird depression in his land. What they find when they remove the rocks covering the bottom of this depression is a tunnel into a underground tomb. It contains 9 chambers or rooms. They find a well in one of these chambers, and 45 feet from the top of that well, they found the entrance to a second cavern, which proved to be the family tomb of a race of gigantic men.
Yeah, it's insane. Even a single human statue, if you asked anybody on the street, has that ever been found in America, they'd probably say no.
The very first time I heard the theories about pyramids and, all of this kind of everything that we attribute to being in Egypt actually being quite a bit of in America, I thought that was crazy. But as time goes on and more things come out about this, it is pretty compelling. How do you deny this? It's not like this person dug a hole and made these tunnels and then smuggled in old stuff and shoved it in to be found someday randomly. But how did they find it? Really? It's a lot of stuff like this. The mounds, a lot of the mounds that you see, if you really break it down, they're definitely pyramid in shape. They just cover them over. Just things like that. It's one of the things that contributes to not knowing what to believe. And this is why it's so important to do your own research. I don't know all of the truth. You probably don't either. And neither does anybody else on the internet. So it's up to you, if you have interest in this, to dig around, so to speak. I guess you could literally dig around as well. The truth is out there, my friends. Hey guys, just a quick reminder that I make these videos every single day of the week. So if you're enjoying the content, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can join the community. We'd love to have you. And I also want to say thank you to everybody who's here, everybody who subscribes, likes, comments. It's amazing. It's been amazing. It's hard to believe that I've only had this channel for a little less than 2 months because I just feel like it's been much longer. I've grown to know you guys a little bit, and it's just really incredible. I just want to keep going. Like I say, forever and ever, because we have the best little corner of the internet out there, hands down. So without further ado, I won't keep us. Let's get back to the video. So we got plenty more for you. Hello. All right, let's get back to it.
This is one of the darkest marketing things that I've heard. I'm in Poland and I met an American today at a luxury cafe. The guy was working from his laptop. I sat next to him. We started exchanging stories and he told me how he manipulates the media. He said he plants stories on 4chan. He uses VPNs to comment on the 4chan posts. These stories are often about famous figures or companies. People hire him to do this. He screenshots the posts, he puts them on the 4chan subreddit of Reddit, and he buys upvotes for these posts. The posts perform well, he screenshots them and he sends the link anonymously to media outlets. Rumors start, and the rumors hurt the people that he was paid to hurt. The guy got up, and he wouldn't tell me his name.
Interesting. Not shocking. I mean, celebrities call their own tips into TMZ. So a lot of what you see has been pre-planned. They knew that paparazzi was going to be there. When do you ever wash your own car? Come on. It's all just a big game, a big show that we're watching. And these people give up this information to strangers so easily. If you guys have ever gotten into I've watched some James O'Keefe stuff, and it's like all they do is plant people in there to go on dates and they just spill it all. Shouldn't we get more people with any sort of, I don't know. I just think it's odd that people just give this information up so willingly. If you're doing something this bad or this illegal, you would think that they would get people a little more tight-lipped. I mean, I'm glad that they don't so that we can all find out the truth, but it's odd. It's odd.
Grand thing when they took that discipline away from us, because when they made our parents afraid to discipline the children, then what happened? We found out that the teachers were afraid of the principals were scared of the superintendents was scared of the school board was scared of the parents were scared of the children, and the children ain't scared of nobody. They did.
Okay, so I would like to clarify here, at least my own stance is, so discipline is not synonymous with child abuse. I am not talking about corporal punishment. I'm not talking about any sort of physical violence towards children in any way. What I am talking about is a stern parent who teaches their kid right from wrong, who doesn't let them get away with everything and throw tantrums and just, like I said, get away with everything. That cannot be the way that it works, because you end up with exactly what she said. The parents are scared of the children. That's insane. There needs to be respect. There's no respect. And respect, unfortunately, does stem from a certain level of discipline. You need to know that your parents are taking care of you and they want what's best for you. Because ultimately, if parents are disciplining their children in what I would consider the right way, those children grow up and actually respect them and thank them for it later. Because they did it not because they're too impatient or they just want to be on their cell phones and they're not paying attention. They tell their kid to shut up. Like, that's not discipline. That is being very not present with your child. I think that the part of the reason that I don't have children, and I believe a lot of people probably shouldn't, is because it's a huge responsibility. It is not just for Instagram. It is not just because it's what you're supposed to do at a certain point. It is what you do when you are ready to give of yourself that much, where it's not your life. It's your life, and there are boundaries, right? But most of what you do as a parent is for the betterment of your child, so that when you aren't there anymore, you can know that you've done a good enough job that they can take care of themselves in this world. That's my 2 cents on that. And I agree wholeheartedly that society has become in such a way that parents don't feel like they can be that authority figure for their child. Teachers can't do anything. And it's just a cycle that really went exactly as she said. And the children aren't scared of anybody. And it's not about being scared, like I'm afraid that you're going to hurt me. It's about not wanting to get in trouble, so you choose to do the right thing. There used to be a time in life where I remember growing up, it wasn't just about, I was a very quiet kid, and I don't think I really got into any trouble ever, but it used to be you didn't want to like disgrace your family name, because what you do out in the world or at school, or the way that you talk to other children or authority figures in school, it's representative of the way that you're being raised at home. So you're taught not to talk back. You're taught not to, and so I want to pause right here too, because there are things that you need to speak up about, because this world is getting sicker. So there is a line. There needs to be adults that can be depended upon, and there needs to be children that are allowed to be disciplined in proper ways. We can fix this. We can fix this. Not every generation has to get worse and worse and worse. We can stand up and be good parents and raise children to do the right thing. I don't know. I don't know anything.
Had my cousins dressed like they were bag boys, and I went shopping. It was great. They planned everything right down to the music.
Yeah, now people will know who you are when you put the glove on. Where's the gun? Big red. That is red. Big red.
It was a lot of fun. It gave me a chance to see in my way kind of what the real world is like, even though it wasn't the real thing.
I like this video for 2 reasons. One, you get to see Michael Jackson showing that he really wants to see what it's like to be normal. He's not just living in he's obviously living in some bubble, but it's a bubble that we perpetuated for him. He couldn't go just grocery shopping like a normal person. The things that we consider chores, he considers a gift, because ultimately that's your independence. That's your freedom. And you give that up when you take that level of celebrity on. And the other thing that I really loved about this was at the end, his comment that it gave him the experience of seeing what normal is in his own way, even if that's not really normal. So he's not out of touch enough to think like, oh, this is normal. He's not doing some sort of publicity grab here. He just wanted to experience this, because everybody deserves to experience all the parts of life. And I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see just that he orchestrated this so he could just go grocery shopping.
You're actually out of the body when you're dreaming at night. So when you sleep for 7 or 8 hours, you're going to spend 3 hours. This is medical studies now. This is hard no science now. Mm-hmm. We've known this since the 1950s when we discovered the 4 brainwaves. You spend 3 hours out of the body into the fifth dimension. The question is, where do you go? Most people, because they don't know what they're doing, or because they're arguing with their wife, or they're worrying about problems, or because they had too many drugs, they go to the lower astral plane. That's a very bad neighborhood.
Like hell.
Well, except you can get out of it. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's like purgatory. Okay?
Purgatory, okay.
Whereas if you use the techniques I described in psychic protection techniques and more positive things, you can leave through the crown chakra, not through the third chakra, which will take you to the lower astral. If you go to the crown chakra, which is where you want to go, now you go to the upper astral plane or the causal, mental, etheric, or even soul plane. Those are all positive dimensions. Okay? The only two negative dimensions are the lower astral plane and this one. We have a lot of problems here. But the other dimensions are all positive. And each dimension has a sound and certain characteristics that are relevant to it. For example, if you're out of the body and you hear the roar of the sea, you're on the astral plane. If you hear the tinkling of bells like in a New Age bookstore, now you're on the causal plane where the Akashic records are stored. If you hear the sound of running water, you're on the mental plane. And if you hear the buzzing of bees, you're on the etheric plane. Or if you hear the sound of a flute, you're on the soul plane.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I've always been, or I guess I shouldn't say always, but I have lately been very interested about this, about, I guess for the last few years, meditation and, you know, where your consciousness goes when you sleep. And obviously that's related to astral projection. I've never tried anything like that. I have done some deep meditation techniques, which are pretty incredible. But very interesting.
Have you heard about the sonic booms, the loud booms that are being heard throughout East Idaho? Well, recently a farmer decided to post some videos about it, and things take a drastic turn. It's almost reminiscent of the Andrew Dawson situation, in which he came out and showed proof of a giant, and then things went crazy and he ended up disappearing. Well, this farmer is doing the same thing. His first video, he talks about these sonic booms. His next video, he's warned to remove the video. And then the final video that he posts on December 2nd, his whole demeanor changes. Everything about him and how he normally posts is different. Even with the rapid eye movement, he's being told to post this last video, indicating there's nothing going on. It's skyquakes. Take a look at these videos and tell me what you think. And note, if you're on Instagram or Facebook, you can watch the full 3 videos on my YouTube channel.
Watermaster doesn't even know what the booms are.
The Watermaster's a pretty smart guy. He usually knows about everything that's going on around here, and he doesn't even know what's going on. This has been happening all over East Idaho in several small towns, especially out in the country where it's quieter. But we've been hearing loud booms, like explosions, specifically at night over the past 2 months. And it's so loud and so strong that it shakes the wind.
I guess we're not going to get to see the progression. I thought that's what this was, but okay. Has anyone else heard about these booms out there? I'm going to do more research on this one. That's my bad. Let me write this down. Boom. All right.
And some people won't think I'm crazy for saying this, but 369 method. So you write down what you want to become like you already became it. So you write it down 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night. And you read it before you go to bed. So you read it 9 times before you go to bed. So basically, it's just like, I would write down, I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family, not the last. I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family, not the last. I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family, not the last. And I write it down every single day. Money comes easily, frequently, and abundantly, every single day. You know what I'm saying? So I write it down 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night, and I read it before I go to sleep. So when you go to sleep, you go to the 4th dimension, which is the dream state. That's the highest consciousness that you have. Like, that's like the ultimate. Like, when we dreaming, that's the ultimate creator, that's ultimate. So now when you wake up, that was the last thing that you read. So now what happens is you come back to the physical state, 3 dimension, where we at right now, and you just basically like massive manifest the shit that you want. Do that shit for 30 days.
All right, say less.
But it gotta be like you already completed it though. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just get in the habit that like manifest your money. You can write down some stuff that you want to achieve, but you write it down like you already achieved it. I did that in October 2019. I was like, yo, I want to make this amount of money. I want to travel to this amount of countries. I want to help this person make this amount of money in their business. I did everything on that list, bro. No cap.
I manifest a lot of things in life, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
But it's something about this $100 million contract that
it's coming.
It is coming. I gotta just stay down and believe.
Already 100 millionaire, bro. The time just gotta catch up.
You gotta catch up.
That's it. Time is manufactured. Time ain't for real.
Time ain't real at all.
It ain't real at
It's
all.
only present moment.
That's it.
Even I don't even know if it's a present moment. We just here.
We just here. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's already written. The time just gotta catch up. So the $100 million is already written. It's already yours. Cause it's in you. It ain't on you. So the time just gotta catch up.
I dare you to try this. I do. Because manifestation works. It really, truly does. You have to give it time and you have to be consistent. It's not something that you can do one day and then wake up and, log into your bank account and it says the same thing or less or something. And you're just like, this doesn't work. That's not how it works. And you have to have a mindset exactly like he's saying that it already is. For example, when I first started this channel, it was kind of sad. I mean, it wasn't sad. I liked doing it, but nobody watched at first. I barely got any views. I'm grateful for every single one that I did, but I barely got any views. I certainly wasn't getting any followers at first. But I told myself exactly where I want to be, and I acted in my life as though I was there. And it's almost embarrassing at first. I didn't, go around telling the world or anything, but within my own house, I spoke about my successful YouTube channel. And what I have now, I consider successful. I feel successful because you're here. That's success to me. Obviously, I have big dreams and big goals, but I, in my heart, fully believe in it. And you have to believe in what you want. You have to be sure and you have to say it is, because it's exactly what he said. It is written. Once you do that, it is written. Now time just needs to catch up. And if you stay consistent with this, it will work. It will work and things work out. Part of this is like, for example, if you're doing something about money, like if your goal is, I want to be a millionaire, like I will be a millionaire, I will be a millionaire, or whatever your goal may be. If that is your goal, wait, I just lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh. Whoa, man. If that is your goal, if it's financial, oh darn. You know what? If it comes back to me, I'll tell you. But you get the idea. You have to believe that it's already so. You have to behave as though it's already so, and you have to know that it's not overnight. But if you believe in it, it will happen. I wish I could remember what I was going to say. It was so good. Damn. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, this one I have to read to you, and I am sorry for that, but I thought it was worth it. I had never heard of this story before. So in 1985, Dr. Robert Miller developed what he called quantum phase corrective lenses to help his 12-year-old daughter, Emily, who suffered from severe visual impairment. That's, I guess, them. So, oh my God, why did they have to put the words over top? So this breakthrough should have revolutionized optical science, but instead it led to one of physics' most disturbing unsolved cases. It is quite disturbing, actually. I'm just going to get close and read this. Initial tests were promising. Emily reported perfect vision for the first time in her life. Then, after 3 days of use, she began describing wrongness in what she saw. The air is breathing, she wrote in her diary. Everything is inside something's stomach. We are floating in digestive fluid. It is so big, I could barely see it. It's laughing at us, all of us. So, already disturbing. Very disturbing, but it gets worse. I promise. If they ever let us go forward, my goodness. All right. So her final coherent statement to hospital staff was, "The thing, it keeps us dreaming so that we don't feel ourselves being consumed, being digested." Yep. That's what she saw. So, goodness, let me just make this really big for all of us in case you're reading it. So they found her, Emily, in their bathroom on March 14th, 1985. She had removed her own eyes with her own hands. Before sedation, she repeatedly thanked him for making her blind again. Which, oh my gosh, you know what she had to have felt and seen to claw out her own eyes with her hands? Can you even imagine? The prototype glasses were never recovered. Miller's research notes, found partially burned, contained equations that leading physicists called impossible and architecturally incompatible with our universe. I mean, how did he even do this? It's like they're 3D glasses from hell, it seems. So, I don't know. Miller vanished. Her father vanished 2 weeks later. His final recorded phone call to a colleague named Dr. James Chen contained one cryptic statement. Quote, "The human eye evolved to see what we need to survive, not what's actually there." Whoa. Okay. So that's disturbing, and I can't imagine that any of us are shocked to find that out, personally. Oh, wait, there's more. Okay. In 1986, a 1986 investigation found Emily's diary contained recurring sketches of what appeared to be vast cellular structures surrounding everyday objects. The final page showed a crude drawing of Earth labeled nutrient sac number 4.2E9. What? Why haven't we explored this more? We have a very inquisitive community, not just us, but across the internet, of people who I feel would be jumping at this scenario to find out more, but this is the first I've heard of it. And I'm going to be really embarrassed if you guys tell me that you knew. But I didn't. Have you heard of this or anything like this? It's definitely not the only case of people being very horrified at seeing something they feel they shouldn't have. It really makes you wonder. It's some Matrix stuff, I think. Well, first of all, a British crow. Is there anything cuter? And second of all, I would imagine that this sweet little crow is in a park somewhere. He probably gets snacks from people passing by. And I mean, you see a little buddy like this, a big buddy like this, who's just standing there kind of like looking at you in a familiar way. I think many people probably pass by and actually say, "Are you all right, buddy?" I mean, I say that to things all the time. "Are you okay, buddy?" You know, that's probably one of the main things he hears. So he's learned to say that. And so he just says it to people. That's what I imagine, but it's also adorable. And I get the vibe that you guys like the crow stuff too, or in the talking birds. It's very intriguing. So I saw this and had to put it in.
It takes a lot of energy to be the ego. It takes no energy to be yourself. Again, It takes a lot of energy to keep up the ego, to be the ego. This is why I can prove that personality is not real, it's not true. Because with personality, very often when we meet other beings, you are uncomfortable. We start to play, to perform, to make sure that your mind is saying, oh, you did very well, you was very impressive, you looked really good. Even when you're talking, it's like you're in front of a camera, and it's like this. So it's exhausting. And if you keep it up, then people start to feel, I don't like people. Why? Because you feel uncomfortable with them. So this already shows your personality is not true state, the egoic personality. You see? When you are comfortable in yourself, you don't mind who, you're not performing. So you can really meet and you can afford to be empty. You don't come with a bag of tricks. You don't need it. And so when we meet like this, love flows completely unimpeded. And your space becomes panoramic. Your joy flows like a river.
I agree with this wholeheartedly. I believe that authenticity is key always. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of different channels, and I thought about this channel. I mean, don't go look at my first videos, but I made videos like 3 years ago, and they're just like directionless, and I can't say they're not me, but I can definitely say that I am more comfortable being myself, who I am now. And I believe that comes through. And from what I hear from you guys, I am honored with all of the positivity that I get. And I think it's because I am honest and I am true and I am not trying to put on a show. I mean, I'm putting on a show. Obviously, this is a show, but I'm not trying to be anything that I'm not. And I believe in being real because I really hope to impact the world in a positive way. Whether we ultimately end up connecting with 700 people and you guys are the last of it and nobody else ever comes along, that's fine. And if 1 million people come along, that's fine too. But if you can put something positive out there that came from your heart genuinely, that is the ticket. That is the ticket, and that is my goal.
Me is coming back. How phenomenal. Like, yeah. So if your houseplants are capable of sensing telepathic communication and participating in telepathic communication, it's been shown that if you have houseplants that have been in your life for even a few months, if you put EEGs on those and then you send the person who takes care of those out of the house, send them some distance away, the moment they come within 2,000 meters or 2 kilometers from the home, the plants all perk up. They can feel the person coming from 2 kilometers away. And so if plants are that sentient, that they are that connected, even in a pot in your house, totally disconnected seemingly from nature, if that thing is feeling 2 kilometers of space and then waiting for the excitement of being like, the person who loves me, the person who planted me is coming back. How phenomenal. Like, yeah. So if you're...
How sweet is that? I think that we all can agree that plants are far more intelligent, sentient, however you want to say it, than we ever realized. There are some really great books on this too about, and we've talked about it a little, about how plants can communicate with each other underground. And if one plant is missing a nutrient or they're running low on something or anything like that, they will communicate and other plants will send the magnesium that they need or whatever it may be. I think that's beautiful and incredible, and how lovely that plants also feel that towards us. I think that's beautiful. So this is something I think about a lot, not this exactly, but plants, because there are certain holidays that just are plant holidays. You know, there's poinsettias at Christmas, but be careful about poinsettias. You know that they are poisonous to pets, so keep them out of reach. But you know, there's not wreaths, I guess, but summer is a lot of succulents and We obviously have Christmas trees, and some people buy them with the roots, which I think is also beautiful to be able to plant them again. But a lot of plants, I just feel like Mother's Day is another big plant day, and you see tons of them out, and I try and buy as many as I can, and I put them out, and I, try and take care of them the best that I can, because you just know some people just get them. They're there for decoration, and then they just neglect them. And I hate that. I hate that. I wish people would get plants and care for them, because they can last a very long time. Obviously, there are different plants and they live for different amounts of time. Some plants come back, some don't, but it's very important to be kind. Remember that they're living creatures, the same as a spider, the same as you or I, the same as a dolphin. Like they're all living beings with feelings and needs. Yeah. This one is about how long you will live if you get bitten by various things. Rattlesnake, 2 days. Gila monster, 20 hours. Black widow, 16 hours. A pufferfish, 10 hours. A wandering spider, 3 hours. A death stalker scorpion, 55 minutes. Western taipan, 45 minutes. A stonefish, 35 minutes. Wow. So pretty, though. Jellyfish, 18 minutes. Okay, hold up. I assume there's a specific jellyfish they're talking about, right? Not just all jellyfish. Jellyfish don't kill you. They just sting you, mostly, right? I am certain there are poisonous ones, but I'm talking about the run-of-the-mill. I went to the beach today. Jellyfish, they don't kill you. Not that I've ever heard. Golden frog, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Those cute little frogs, man. I think there's the blue dart frog too that is very, very poisonous. I saw it once at an aquarium. They're beautiful, and I could see why people would want to be like, "Oh, look, little buddy." But don't. All right. So now I'm going to show you my good clip of the day, which a few episodes back, I put up this video that I think we generally thought was pretty humorous, where it was what it would be like if aliens heard about humans and they thought they saw one in the woods, and humans, they called them. This one kind of fell up that alley. You'll see.
The Beast Buddies program pairs reclusive creatures with emotional support dogs, offering a safe path back into society. Organizers say the dogs provide a grounding presence, helping to calm social anxieties and foster new connections. The dogs offer steady companionship, making it easier for monsters to find comfort in unfamiliar spaces. In bridging these worlds, the Beast Buddies program reminds us all that everyone deserves a place in the community. And sometimes, a helping paw makes all the difference.
The puppies love their creatures. I thought that was funny and sweet. It's nice that they're reformed, you know? They're not under beds freaking people out or hiding in dark corners. I like the reformed monsters and their puppies. Okay, guys. That's enough of me for today in your day, I'm sure. So I'm going to end it right here. Say, I hope you have a beautiful night, and I will see you tomorrow. And to my lovely grandmom, you're the best. Good night.